Sometimes a person doesn't lose in the real world. They lose long before that inside their own mind. Defeat doesn't show up in the battlefield. It shows up in the moment you quietly accept that you're not enough. The world cannot break you until you decide you're already broken. And the truth is, most people lose the fight long before they ever throw a punch. You just don't see it on their face, it's happening deep inside. You've probably met people who look tired, even when they haven't done anything heavy. People who seem defeated without any obvious reason. But when you look closer, you realize the real battle wasn't outside, it was inside their thoughts. Those small whispers, fear, self-doubt, regret, insecurity, these tiny things shape a person's entire life. A person who gives up internally can never win externally. But then there are others, people whose inner world is stronger than anything happening outside. They may fall, they may struggle, they may cry in silence, but they refuse to stay down. Life pushes them hard, people disappoint them, situations break them, yet they look in the mirror and say, "Not yet. I'm not done." That is real strength. See, the human mind doesn't operate alone. It's never isolated. Just like radio waves merge on a single frequency to form a powerful broadcast, human minds also blend. When multiple minds lock on the same belief, the same goal, the same emotional frequency, something extraordinary happens. They stop being ordinary individuals and become a collective force. That's why, when you step into a room full of excited people, you instantly feel alive. Like electricity hits your spine. You feel lifted, energized, ready. And when you walk into a room full of tired, hopeless people, you feel your own energy sinking even if you never said a word. This isn't magic. It's mind chemistry. Human emotions are contagious. Energy spreads. Confidence spreads. Negativity spreads even faster. A single inspired person can light up a room, and a single defeated person can drain the entire environment. You can feel it. We all can. Great leaders, spiritual teachers, iconic speakers. They all understand this. They know that a crowd is not just a group of people, it is a field of energy. A heartbeat, a frequency. When thousands of minds connect with one message, with one vision, with one voice, the impact is unstoppable. Every powerful speech in history, every movement, every revolution, they all happened because minds synchronized. People tuned in to the same emotional wavelength. Millions believing in one idea at the same time. That's how the world changes. And you've seen it in history. Certain individuals rise and suddenly entire nations follow. Not because they're superhuman, but because they unify the minds around them. When enough people look in the same direction, that direction becomes reality. Businesses grow this way. Revolutions ignite this way. And failure also works the exact same way. Because here's the truth. When enough people share the same fear, even the strongest system can collapse. Fear spreads. Doubt spreads. But so does courage. So does hope. If someone walks into the room full of life, full of passion, full of confidence, you feel it immediately. And if someone walks in carrying bitterness, exhaustion, or emotional heaviness, that weight slips into your own chest. This is before a single word is spoken. Humans sense energy before they understand words. And the person who understands this becomes incredibly powerful. Because instead of being controlled by the environment, they begin to control the environment. They decide what energy they allow, what energy they return, what energy they absorb. Every person has an inner voice, a feeling, a vibration that reacts instantly to the emotional climate around them. Call it intuition, call it spirit, call it energy, but it exists. It's the invisible language humans have always spoken, long before actual language was invented. It's the reason you trust some people instantly and avoid others. Without any explanation. Your success, your confidence, your relationships, your lifestyle, everything is influenced by the mental environment you sync your mind with. If you surround yourself with people who complain, quit early, fear everything, expect nothing good, you will start thinking the same way. And once your thoughts change, your entire life follows. If you surround yourself with people who believe in growth, who try, who push, who rise after every drop, you begin thinking bigger. Your ideas become sharper. Your courage becomes louder. A person rarely rises above the environment they mentally connect with, unless they consciously choose to break away. And that's where most people fail. They don't choose. They just absorb. They absorb negativity, absorb fear, absorb limitations, absorb the small thinking around them. But the moment, literally, the moment you change what you allow into your mind, your reality begins to shift. You don't have to change the world. You only have to change who your mind syncs with. Who are you listening to? Who influences you? Who shapes your decisions? Who occupies your thoughts? Who controls your emotional frequency? These things determine your destiny far more than talent, background, or luck. Because when a person changes their inner frequency, the entire world around them begins to change. Every victory begins in the mind long before it shows up in life. And every defeat begins there too. When most people hear the word success, they immediately think of money, status, or recognition. But here's the reality. Success begins long before the first dollar is earned. Long before a promotion, or before anyone applauds you. It begins inside the mind. It begins in the quiet moments when no one is watching. When you decide what energy you are going to carry, what thoughts you will nurture, and how you will respond to challenges. It's easy to overlook the fact that your internal environmental thoughts, your emotions, your self-talk dictates the external environment that you attract. Harmony inside your mind is the foundation of harmony in life. When your thoughts are conflicted, when your mind is disorganized, the energy you project is chaotic, and that chaos attracts more chaos. On the other hand, when you learn to harmonize your mind, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions work together like a perfectly tuned orchestra, the effect is magnetic. Opportunities appear. People respond to you. Doors open that you never even knew existed. The principle of harmony doesn't just apply to your mind, it applies to your body, your relationships, and the groups of people you interact with. Think of your body as a living, breathing orchestra. Every organ, every nerve, every cell has its part to play. When they operate in harmony, the body thrives. When harmony breaks down, illness begins. The same is true of your mind and of any team or group you are a part of. A mastermind, as Napoleon Hill calls it, is formed when a group of people work in perfect coordination toward a single purpose. If discord enters, the energy of the group collapses. Now, here's where most people fail. They underestimate the power of mental harmony. They ignore it. They allow negative emotions like jealousy, self-pity, or doubt to creep in. And just like that, their organized energy, their potential, begins to disintegrate. This is why some people never seem to get ahead, no matter how hard they work or how much they know. It's not lack of skill, it's lack of harmony. Harmony also shapes how you adapt to your environment. A palace can feel like a prison if the people inside it are in conflict. A humble hut can radiate joy if the minds of its occupants are aligned. The external conditions matter less than the internal ones. Your mind chemistry, the way your thoughts, emotions, and actions interact is what determines your perception, your decisions, and ultimately your results. Think about education for a moment. Most dictionaries define it as the act of acquiring knowledge, but real education, the kind that generates real power, is the ability to draw out and develop the faculties already inside you. It's to use knowledge to solve problems, make decisions, and take action. You can memorize countless facts and still be powerless if you don't know how to apply them. On the other hand, someone with limited formal schooling but exceptional application of organized knowledge can outperform anyone. Henry Ford is the perfect example. He may not have known every historical date or scientific principle, but he understood how to combine human energy, natural laws, and economic principles to create extraordinary results. He surrounded himself with people who had specialized knowledge, and he used it intelligently. He could solve problems and make decisions far beyond the ability of someone with more formal education but less applied wisdom. The lesson is clear. Education is not about memorizing facts. It's about organizing knowledge and using it strategically. The same principle applies to your personal life, your business, or any field you enter. If your thoughts, your habits, and your emotions are not aligned, you will attract friction, setbacks, and inefficiency. If you harmonize them, you create a natural flow where ideas, people, and opportunities move toward you effortlessly. This is why mastering your inner chemistry is more important than any textbook, any degree, or any superficial skill. Every human possesses multiple mind forces, multiple impulses, and often conflicting desires. You may want one thing logically, but emotionally you resist it. Your subconscious may tell you something else entirely. The key to success is to harmonize these forces. When they work together toward a definite purpose, your mind becomes unstoppable. When they are at war with each other, you sabotage yourself without even realizing it. Leaders who can create and direct a mastermind know this intuitively. They understand that controlling people begins with controlling the energy of the group, which is rooted in harmony. They must be tactful, patient, persistent, and above all, calm under pressure. They must adapt without losing composure, guide without forcing, and inspire without resentment. Without this, no group, no team, no partnership can achieve its full potential. And the most powerful truth is this: success is available to anyone who learns to harmonize their mind. The harmony between your desires, your purpose, your environment, and your actions is the secret that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. When you start organizing your thoughts, aligning your emotions, and harmonizing your actions with a clear, definite purpose, life begins to respond. Doors open. People start to support you. Opportunities appear as if by design. Your external world changes because your internal world changed first. So here's what you need to do right now. Examine your thoughts. Are they aligned with your goals, or do they create conflict? Check your emotions. Are they harmonizing with your purpose, or are they holding you back? Align your actions. Do they support your vision, or are they scattered and inconsistent? When these three areas, thoughts, emotions, and actions, work together in harmony, you unleash a kind of energy that cannot be ignored. It attracts results, builds momentum, and establishes lasting success. Remember, every well-dressed person, every great speaker, every successful leader is a living example of harmony in action. It shows in their confidence, in their presence, in the way people respond to them. Harmony is the invisible magnet that draws power toward you. And here's the final truth for today. Without harmony, all your knowledge, your skills, and your ambitions are wasted. You can know everything but achieve nothing. You can plan meticulously but fail completely. Without mental harmony, organized knowledge becomes chaos. Energy dissipates, and potential is lost. So, as you move forward, never forget, master your mind. Harmonize your thoughts and emotions, and align your actions. That is the foundation upon which real success is built. In life, in business, in relationships, and in the fulfillment of your ultimate purpose. This is not theory. This is the law of success in action. And anyone who applies it consistently will see results beyond what most people believe is possible. You've learned that success begins with harmony inside your mind, in your body, and in the people you surround yourself with. But let's take this even deeper. You see, harmony isn't just it's a law of nature, a force that governs everything from the smallest cell to the largest universe. Without it, nothing works. Planets would collide, trees would grow randomly, and even your blood could deposit things where they don't belong. Imagine that your body literally depends on the same principle that drives a mastermind in a business or social group. Now, here's the thing most people overlook. You are your own universe. Every thought, every feeling, every decision sends ripples through your life. If your inner universe is chaotic, your life will mirror that chaos. If it's harmonious, doors start opening everywhere. And that's the real reason why self-discipline, emotional control, and mental clarity are not just buzzwords, they are survival skills for success. Let's make this practical. Think about a common scenario. You wake up in the morning, already stressed. Emails are piling up, bills need attention, and you're running late. How you respond in these first few minutes sets the tone for your entire day. If your thoughts are scattered, if you react emotionally, if your mind is a battlefield, that chaotic energy compounds in every interaction. Every decision, every opportunity becomes harder. But if you pause, breathe, and intentionally align your thoughts and emotions with your purpose suddenly, even the toughest day becomes manageable. Harmony in the mind translates directly into results in life. And here's where most people make the critical mistake. They think knowledge alone will save them. They study, they memorize, they read endless books, and yet they remain stuck. Why? Because knowledge without organized application is like a car without an engine. Henry Ford didn't memorize everything in the world. He didn't need to. He knew how to surround himself with experts, how to combine their knowledge with his vision, and how to turn it into action. That's the difference between someone who knows a lot and someone who actually succeeds. Let's talk about mental forces for a moment. You have impulses, desires, fears, and dreams all constantly competing for your attention. One moment you want to act, the next you hesitate. One moment you feel confident, the next you doubt yourself. The key to mastering your life is not to suppress these forces, but to harmonize them. Align them toward one clear purpose, and you create a mental engine that is unstoppable. Discord inside the mind is the #1 silent killer of success. Drains your energy, clouds your judgment, and invites failure. Now, think bigger. Let's say you are leading a team, a business, or a project. Every person in your group has their own impulses, fears, ambitions, and energy patterns. If even one person is out of sync, the whole group suffers. If you can learn to harmonize these energies, to align people toward a single goal while respecting their individuality, you create a mastermind that multiplies your power exponentially. But remember, this takes skill, patience, tact, and emotional control. A leader who loses his temper, reacts impulsively, or imposes authority without understanding the psychology of harmony will fail every single time. Here's the ultimate truth. Success is about energy alignment. Your thoughts, emotions, actions, knowledge, and environment must all work together. Every decision, every interaction, every choice of focus either builds harmony or destroys it. Most people waste years chasing goals while ignoring the internal work required to harmonize their energies. They wonder why they are stuck, why opportunities seem elusive, why success never comes. The answer is simple: disharmony. And it's fixable. The first step is awareness. Start noticing your thoughts, your emotional reactions, and your habitual behaviors. Are they aligned with your goals, or do they create internal conflict? The second step is intention. Decide what kind of energy you want to cultivate in yourself every day. Peaceful, focused, confident, adaptable. The third step is action. Take deliberate steps to harmonize your behaviors with your intentions. This might mean developing new habits, practicing mindfulness, or consciously choosing your environment and the people you interact with. Think about the incredible opportunities that exist around you. They are everywhere, waiting for the person who is ready, alert, and internally aligned. The law of success is not a theory. It's a practical system. People who master this principle don't wait for luck, they create it. They see opportunity where others see obstacles. They act decisively while others hesitate. They align their energies and move forward while chaos holds everyone else back. Now, let's put this into a story you can relate to. Imagine a man walking through a forest, unsure of the path. He sees a river, a hill, and a dense patch of trees. Most people would wander, unsure which direction to take, wasting time and energy. But a man with internal harmony has a map in his mind. He knows what his destination is. He understands the terrain, and his energy is aligned with the goal. Every step he takes is purposeful, efficient, and directed. That's exactly how harmony inside the mind works. It gives clarity, direction, and momentum. Here's the takeaway for today. Every successful person, whether in business, sports, or life, shares one invisible quality. They have learned to harmonize themselves. Their thoughts, emotions, knowledge, and actions are aligned with a definite purpose. It doesn't matter if you have the world's knowledge at your disposal or the fanciest credentials without harmony. Success remains elusive. So start small. Practice harmony in your thoughts and actions today. Notice how your energy shifts when you replace internal conflict with clarity. Observe the difference in how people respond when you are aligned and calm versus scattered and reactive. And most importantly, commit to making mental and emotional harmony a daily practice. The law of success depends on it, and your life will never be the same again. By now, you should understand that harmony, focus, and the organized use of knowledge aren't just abstract ideas. They are practical tools you can use every single day. But let's go one step further. Success is not just about knowing what to do. It's about doing it consistently, in the right way, and with the right mindset. And here's where most people stumble. They know what to do, but they don't do it. They procrastinate. They hesitate. They allow fear or doubt to creep in. Let's be honest, life will throw challenges at you constantly. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and moments that test your patience and resilience. But here's the secret. The person who has mastered internal harmony navigates these challenges with ease. Why? Because their mind is aligned with their purpose. They see solutions where others see problems. They move forward calmly, decisively, and confidently, even under pressure. And this isn't magic, it's the result of consistent practice, self-discipline, and a clear understanding of the laws of success. Now, imagine a typical morning in your life. You wake up, check your phone, and immediately get pulled into a storm of notifications, news, and social media. Most people react. They feel stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed. But a person trained in the principles where discussing today pauses and chooses their focus. They decide what truly deserves their attention. They organize their priorities. They create a mental plan for the day. And because their energy is aligned with their purpose, they accomplish more in one focused hour than most people do in an entire chaotic day. This is the power of organized knowledge applied with intention. Knowledge alone is useless. It must be classified, prioritized, and put into action. Henry Ford understood this principle deeply. He didn't memorize everything. He didn't need to. He surrounded himself with experts, combined their knowledge with his vision, and took decisive action. That combination of aligned knowledge, vision, and action created results that most learned people could never achieve. And here's another key point. Every person has multiple mental forces at work inside them: desires, doubts, fears, hopes, and dreams. The challenge is to harmonize these forces so they all work together toward a single purpose. One misaligned impulse can sabotage an entire day. One conflicting desire can drain your energy and slow your progress. But when your mind is harmonized, every thought and action builds momentum. Success becomes natural, it flows, instead of being forced. Let's look at leadership. If you're leading a team, your own harmony is the foundation. People mirror your energy. If you are chaotic or reactive, your team will mirror that. If you are focused, calm, and aligned with a clear purpose, your team will follow, even through tough challenges. A mastermind isn't just a group of people. It's a coordinated, harmonized collective of minds working toward one goal. And the leader is the one who sets the tone, keeps the energy aligned, and guides everyone with tact, patience, and emotional intelligence. But even if you're not leading a team, this principle applies. Relationships, friendships, family life. All of these succeed or fail based on the harmony you cultivate within yourself. Think about it. How often do misunderstandings escalate because one person's energy is chaotic, reactive, or misaligned? How often does frustration, impatience, or emotional turbulence ruin a perfectly good day? When you master your internal harmony, you transform every interaction, every relationship, and every situation. And here's where it gets really interesting. Harmony allows you to see opportunities that others miss. Most people are distracted, overwhelmed, or confused. They walk past potential fortunes, business opportunities, or life-changing ideas because they're not mentally clear. But a harmonized mind sees clearly. It spots the possibilities. It calculates the risks. It acts decisively. And in doing so, it turns challenges into stepping stones and obstacles into opportunities. Now, let's connect this with the concept of organized action. Think of knowledge as raw material. Alone, it doesn't build anything. Action is the tool that shapes it. But uncoordinated action is chaotic and wasteful. The real power comes when knowledge and action are harmonized with purpose and focus. This is what separates ordinary people from extraordinary achievers. Every great inventor, entrepreneur, or leader in history has practiced this principle, whether consciously or unconsciously. Here's a simple exercise to begin applying these principles today. First, write down your main purpose or goal. Then list the mental forces, habits, or distractions that are misaligned with this goal. Next, create a small plan to harmonize these forces, eliminate what's negative, cultivate what's positive, and take at least one meaningful action toward your purpose immediately. Small steps compounded daily lead to exponential results. Remember, success isn't a straight line. It's a path filled with twists, turns, and obstacles. But your internal harmony is like a compass. It keeps you oriented, ensures your energy flows in the right direction, and prevents you from being pulled off course. People without this compass drift aimlessly, struggling endlessly despite their efforts. People with it move steadily, confidently, and efficiently toward their goals. Finally, never forget, you are the architect of your own mind, your own life, and your own future. Every choice, every thought, every habit either builds harmony or creates chaos. When you choose harmony, you attract opportunities, align people with your vision, and create unstoppable momentum. When you neglect it, even the best knowledge and hardest work can fail. So start today. Observe your thoughts, align your actions, harmonize your energy, create clarity of purpose, and watch as doors open, opportunities appear, and your life transforms in ways most people only dream of. Harmony is not just a principle, it's the engine that drives success, wealth, happiness, and influence. And now, you are ready to harness it fully. By now, you've seen how harmony, focused, and organized action can transform your personal and professional life. But let's take it one step further. Success is not just about strategy or knowledge, it's about persistence, adaptability, and the willingness to grow continuously. Even the most talented, knowledgeable, or well-prepared person can fail if they lack these traits. Think about it. The world is constantly changing. Technology evolves, markets shift, and circumstances can turn upside down in a moment. The person who thrives in this environment is not the one with the most facts memorized or the flashiest credentials. It's the one whose mind is flexible, disciplined, and resilient. This is where the principles we've been discussing truly come alive. When you harmonize your mind and align it with your purpose, you gain a rare ability, the capacity to adapt without losing focus. Let's explore this idea with a practical example. Imagine you're running a small business. You've planned meticulously, researched your market, and assembled a capable team. But suddenly, a competitor introduces a new product that threatens your market share. Most business owners panic, make hasty decisions, or fall into despair. But a harmonized mind sees opportunity. You quickly analyze the situation, adjust your strategy, and mobilize your resources. Because your energy and focus are aligned. Your reaction is measured, creative, and effective. You turn a potential threat into a stepping stone for growth. This principle applies to every area of life. Relationships, health, personal development, finances, they all respond to organized energy and intentional action. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned with your purpose, you experience a kind of effortless momentum. Things start happening in your favor. Opportunities appear. People notice your clarity, confidence, and energy, and they naturally gravitate toward you. You don't need to force, success begins to flow naturally. Now, let's talk about failure. Because you cannot talk about success without it. Every successful person has faced setbacks, mistakes, and even public humiliation. The difference is in how they respond. A person with a harmonized mind doesn't dwell on failure, they analyze it. Extract the lesson, and move forward. Every misstep becomes a learning experience. Every obstacle a chance to strengthen, resolve. Napoleon Hill often emphasized that every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. This is not just a motivational phrase, it's a proven principle of organized energy and purposeful action. Here's another key point. Surround yourself with people who challenge and elevate you. Commendation is comforting, but it rarely drives growth. Honest feedback, even if it stings, is invaluable. Seek mentors, advisors, and peers who will tell you the truth about your strengths and weaknesses. Their perspective is like a mirror, it shows what you cannot see about yourself. And when you combine this feedback with internal harmony and focus, you create a compound effect, continuous improvement, accelerated growth, and unstoppable progress. Let's tie this into education and knowledge. True education is not memorizing facts or attending classes. It's the ability to draw from within, apply knowledge in practical ways, and solve real-world problems. Henry Ford didn't memorize every historical date or scientific principle, but he understood how to leverage knowledge, people, and resources to achieve extraordinary results. Knowledge becomes power only when it is applied. An application requires harmony of mind, clarity of purpose, and decisive action. Now, let's discuss one of the most overlooked principles of success: the law of opportunity. Opportunities are all around you, but most people don't see them because their minds are cluttered, chaotic, or misaligned. A harmonized mind acts like a magnet for opportunity. It recognizes possibilities, calculates risks, and takes action decisively. And here's the exciting part. When your mind is harmonized and your energy focused, you not only recognize existing opportunities, you begin to create them. You see gaps others miss. You combine ideas in ways others never imagined. You turn ordinary circumstances into extraordinary results. And what about persistence? This is where many people fail. Most start strong but falter when the going gets tough. But persistence is not blind stubbornness, it's disciplined, intelligent, and harmonized effort. A harmonized mind sustains momentum, maintains clarity, and navigates challenges without wasting energy on fear, frustration, or distraction. Persistence, when combined with harmony and organized action, becomes unstoppable. Finally, let's discuss legacy and impact. True success isn't just personal gain, it's the ability to influence, inspire, and improve the lives of others. When your mind is harmonized and your actions purposeful, your energy radiates outward. You attract people, opportunities, and circumstances that amplify your impact. You become a force multiplier, creating results far beyond what you could achieve alone. Napoleon Hill emphasized this in his discussion of the mastermind. The collective energy of aligned minds achieves far more than the sum of its parts. So, what does this mean for you? It means that success is available to anyone willing to master themselves first. Align your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Harmonize your mental forces. Organize your knowledge and apply it intelligently. Persist in the face of challenges. Seek honest feedback and continuously adapt. And above all, focus on creating value, opportunities, and positive impact. Remember, the principles we've discussed are timeless. They worked for the greatest minds of history, and they can work for you, but only if you commit to applying them consistently with discipline and clarity. The path won't always be easy, but the rewards are immense. Your life, your relationships, your career, your influence, they can all transform when you harness the power of harmony, organized knowledge, persistence, and purposeful action. Now is the time to take action. Start today. Observe your thoughts. Align your actions. Harmonize your energy. Seek opportunities. Apply knowledge. Persist, adapt, grow, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined. Success is not a dream. It is a system, a set of principles, and a way of living. And you are now equipped to live it fully.